So now that you know a bit more about us, let's talk more about the role of a course rep. We'll break down your main responsibilities and talk about things to avoid. As a course rep, you have been elected to be the voice of the students on your course and represent their interests. Course reps act as a bridge of communication between the students in your course, your academic staff, and the students' union in order to keep these groups updated about relevant feedback or information. So what are the things that you have to do? We'll go over the main tasks and then go into more detail in the next few slides. First, you will be required to gather feedback from students. Then, attend a report to your SSLC or Student Staff Liaison Committee meetings. Deliver student feedback to relevant staff, whether that's directly to your course leader, through your SSLC, or through us at the Students' Union. You'll need to track the progress of any feedback given and report that back to your fellow students. And you may need to signpost students towards support services, more on that later, and you'll definitely need to make sure that your student union emails aren't going into your junk folder. If you ever come across any issues with any of these tasks, then contact your rep coordinator. We'll be there to support you to deliver the best representation possible. So, what is feedback? Feedback is a comment, positive or negative, given by a student in regards to their educational experience. This could be a number of different things, from a specific issue within a module, issues with faculties, or access to certain books in the library. Students can praise lecturers or find assessment instructions unclear. All of this is considered feedback. However, feedback is not just a chance to complain, and it's not the opinion of just one person. It should be solution focused. So if a student comes to you with issues, be sure to ask open-ended questions to see what their ideal solution would be. Students with specific issues may need to seek out help from support services, which we'll discuss in the later section of this training. So gathering feedback can seem like a daunting task at first, but it's really just about having conversations with your course mates and peers. For returning course reps, you may already have a system that works well for you, but here are some examples that are all based online. We've had course reps start WhatsApp or Facebook groups. We've had everyone on their course, discuss with your course mates to see if that would work with them. Remember, everyone should be included in these groups. You could schedule brief meetings through Teams or Zoom to collect and discuss feedback. You could use the Canvas discussion pages or create a channel on Teams, but please keep in mind that academic staff will have access to these. So if your course mates would rather remain anonymous, it might not be the right solution for your course. You can email all of your course mates at once through the Rep Hub on the Students' Union website. And you can also use the Take 5 technique and ask course leaders for 5 minutes at the beginning or end of the lecture to gather feedback. Find a way that works best for you and your peers, and then share your successes with us. We love hearing about it and what works best for courses. Your input could help another course rep. So where should you take your feedback? So now you have all this feedback, where should you take it? Well, it's a small, easily fixable issue specific to your course, for example, such as needing lecture slides on Canvas sooner, or issues with Microsoft Teams links. Then we would maybe just suggest that you can contact your course leader about this directly. If you feel that you need support in arranging this meeting, contact your rep coordinator. We'll be there to help you. If you have a persistent issue or larger items for discussion that fall out of your course, such as facility issues, such as the one-way system, technology issues, library issues, anything else, this is something you want to take to your Student Staff Liaison Committee, or SSLC. If you have an idea for a campaign, an idea for change outside of the classroom, you want to take that issue to your faculty rep or vice president. Alternatively, you can speak to your rep coordinator if you're unsure. Your feedback is invaluable to the university and can go to many different committees throughout your faculty. Here is a quick overview of where your feedback goes. It starts at the course level. This is specific course-related feedback that can be resolved at the course level. The example we used earlier was needing slides on Canvas sooner. This feedback should be resolved quickly at course level. The next type of feedback is unresolved or significant items for discussion. These will go to your SSLC and can be actioned by staff and recorded by your rep coordinator, who will take all the feedback from across the faculty from every SSLC and create a report with recommendations for improvement based on these reoccurring themes. Rep coordinators then passes these reports up onto your faculty rep and also your faculty vice president, who then take it to senior level members of staff within your faculty and fight for positive change based on your suggestions. These also use the feedback received through SSLCs to inform their campaigns, both university-wide as well as within your faculty. So now that we've told you all about feedback, and where to take it, it's time to talk to you about the SSLC, Student Staff Liaison Committee, and what exactly to expect from it. The SSLC is the meeting where you deliver the feedback you've gathered from the student in your course to your course leaders. They take place once per semester around November and April, and as a course rep, it is mandatory that you attend both of them. You will receive an email from the SSLC's administrator with all the details of the meeting, including date, venue, and time at least 2 weeks in advance. If you have a schedule conflict or cannot make the meeting for any reason, please contact your rep coordinator as soon as possible to make arrangements for your course to be represented at the meeting. The SSLC is a committee including course reps, module leaders, and course leaders from a school. There is always a chair who ensures that the meeting runs smoothly, and this person is usually the head or deputy head of the school. The administrator is there to take minutes, and any additional staff members from the library, student services, and us at the Students' Union are there to listen to your feedback as well. The meeting will essentially follow an agenda like the example on the screen. The agenda for your SSLC will be sent to you with your email invitation. The most important section is Student Rep Matters. This is the section where you will give feedback you've gathered verbally. So, the feedback form. Here is a template of the feedback report. It follows the keep, stop, start method that we'll discuss on the next slide. We encourage you to use bullet points to write your report, as it should not be essay-like in structure. Please make sure the feedback you write is honest and representative of the students in your course. Even if you do attend your SSLC, it is always a good idea to write down feedback so you don't forget. Please remember that SSLCs aren't the only time to give feedback, but are an important opportunity to answer questions, raise issues, and work towards solutions. The SSLC can seem daunting, but it's your chance to have an open discussion with staff members to work towards improving your student experience. The Students' Union, we have a simple but effective technique for expanding and improving feedback. We call this keep, stop, start. Keep means the students like something and want it to continue. Stop means that students are unhappy and are voicing their concerns. And start is a new idea or a new way of doing something. You can use keep, stop, start for separate issues, such as when your students report that they really enjoyed a recent educational trip, that would be a keep. Or if your course mates have raised an issue with the cleanliness of facilities, and this would be a stop. There will also be times when the keep, stop, start categories all apply to one piece of feedback. For example, if your course mates are unhappy with a lecture that is scheduled on the Wednesday afternoon and students would like to keep the quality of lecture, stop having it on Wednesday afternoons and start having it on Wednesday mornings instead. Anytime you receive feedback, think about how it might fit into keep, stop, start, and also think about how you can further expand it to come up with maybe an actionable start. When reps are able to get something actioned or accomplish something for the students they represent, we call this a rep win. On your report, there's a section for a theme. These themes have been developed by the rep coordinator team as a way to categorize feedback before delivering it to the university. These themes are quality of learning, such as curriculum content, lecturers, guest speakers, and anything else that could affect your learning inside the classroom. Learning resources. This includes library, Canvas, and other learning materials. Assessments. This one is quite self-explanatory. It includes anything to do with assessment, from the structure to the delivery and feedback of assessments. Other student experience is any feedback regarding things that aren't always directly related to your course, but still could be, such as sustainability, community, inductions, campus shops, all that kind of stuff. Personal tutoring, that's all about maybe the accessibility, the approachability, communication, and contact time with your personal tutors or personal development tutors, that you might call them. Academic support and skills development. This is all the support services offered across the university, such as us, Students' Union, STEM Skills Plus, maybe the Wellbeing Service, the Eye Centre, and any other examples you might be able to think of at the time. Organisation and management. This is quite a large one. This is a theme you'll want to choose for any things like timetabling issues, feedback around the course structure or the order of your modules, or communication between staff and students, maybe the emails that they're sending out. Placements. This is any feedback regarding any aspect of placements, from accessibility to the options that you might have, communication, anything else. Facilities, access, accommodation, food, drink options, Wi-Fi classrooms, and parking, all encompass facilities. And then finally, student voice, the big one. This is regarding anything to do with the representation of students. So, students' union, surveys we're using, any other feedback you think that might be suitable for this thing. So, after your SSLC, you've gathered your feedback, you've attended your SSLC, what now? Within 2 weeks, you should receive a copy of the minutes from your meeting. When you receive them, read through them and make sure everything is correct. If you don't receive any minutes or you find an error, please contact your SSLC administrator or your rep coordinator. These minutes will inform you of who was tasked with resolving any issues that you raised during the meeting, and you should be given an actions list along with your minutes, which will list everything that was agreed upon during the meeting. If you or your course mates feel the issue hasn't been addressed, then your point of contact will be whoever is listed on that action. If you need further support, you can always contact one of your rep coordinators. The most important thing to do after an SSLC is inform your course mates of what happened during the meeting. You are there to represent them, so you must report back and close the feedback loop. Closing the feedback loop simply means keeping your course mates informed. If you reported to the SSLC with an issue such as class time is being used to watch videos, we could be watching separately and we'd like to use lecture time more effectively, for example, and it was an action to your course leader to assign the videos before each lecture and use that time to discuss them, then you'll want to let your course mates know that what was agreed upon with the SSLC. So a bit of a mouthful there, but that's genuinely what you want to do there. Alternatively, if you bring forward an issue and you didn't achieve your course mate's desired outcome, please still, should still be reporting what happened. If your course mates requested more parking on campus and you were told that simply isn't possible due to space, you should be reporting that back to your course mates and maybe you can come up with a new way to talk about it later. So this is the end of the things you must do training video. The second of our 4 videos that make up your rep training. Please answer all the questions listed below before attempting to move on to the next section. All answers to these questions have been provided in this video. If you need assistance or clarification at any part of this training, please contact your rep coordinator as soon as possible.